Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I am meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you so much for joining me here from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. I've got the best coffee on the planet, which is hotel room coffee. No, I'm just being sarcastic. It does the job, though. It definitely does the job. Of course, I did go down and get a continental breakfast, which, by the way, you probably heard the expression, good old Southern hospitality, right? So I go to the Best Western. I'm staying at the Best Western. They've got the continental breakfast. It's called Billy's Kitchen. And Billy comes out, he's like, hey, good morning. He's got the Southern accent. He's like, how you doing this morning? Can I get you anything? And he gets me the eggs, whatever, anything I asked. And he was just very, very helpful. So I've been to Best Westerns before, but you just kind of help yourself and there's usually nobody around. But this guy, he was just like super nice, coming out and chatting with us, and it was great. I loved it. So Billy out in Lawrenceburg at the Best Western Plus. Highly recommend it if you're ever out here in Lawrenceburg, which honestly I don't see any reason why you would be, but you never know, right? So Lawrenceburg is about 2 hours south. It depends on traffic. About 2 hours south of Nashville. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time to spend much time in Nashville, but Nashville is a really cool city too. So kind of cool out here. But here, the reason why I'm here is there is a National Digital Meteorology Conference. As you may or may not know, I'm part of a group called National Weather Network. And so we're putting on this conference. I'm going to be doing a presentation about what I'm doing here with Weather NorCal, and just hoping to see it grow. In fact, I've been talking to some people here at the conference already, and we're already starting to see a lot of interest in people who want to do what I'm doing. And I am the only one on the West Coast doing this right now. We've got somebody on the West Coast who wants to do this as well. So we're starting to fill that gap a little bit here. So we're very excited about that. I'm excited to help get them launched and get them going. And by the way, too, look at behind me. Notice I made the bed. My wife would be proud. My wife would be proud. I've got everything made up nicely here for you. But all right, so let's get to the forecast, shall we? Because, it's kind of interesting. It's a little foggy here as well. We're actually getting sleet here in Tennessee. It's been pretty cold, actually. But wouldn't you know, the fog has returned. And we've got a dense fog advisory until 11 o'clock this morning. The thing is, I expect it to be fairly persistent through really most of the day, at least most of the morning, through the morning hours. You can see the visibility right now. I mean, it's down to about 1/4 of a mile on average, as you can see here. Very dense fog. Take it easy on the roads this morning because it is not safe out there. I actually ran into a little bit of fog yesterday morning when I was driving out to the airport. Taking a look at Sundial Bridge Drive on Highway 44 there, you can see that fog. It is pretty dense out there. In fact, looking at this a little bit earlier, I couldn't even see the lights. So it has improved a little bit here. There's a look at Red Bluff. And there you can see that fog, pretty dense, very low visibility. And there you can see the low visibility that we have there in Chico. So I just wanted to illustrate from Redding all the way down to Chico, we do have some pretty dense fog out there. Take a look at the visibility. This is just kind of look at the forecast. I'm anticipating that by midday, this should be gone. Although I still think maybe, especially to the south, there may still be a little bit of fog out there. But there you can see, again, going into tomorrow morning, we may start the morning off with more fog. So yeah, I mean, it's back. And the reason being is we've got a big ridge of high pressure in place, which we'll talk to that in a second. Because if you're on the coast, you've been hearing about the king tides this week, right? And they're certainly in full force the last few days. And that's why there's a coastal flood advisory until about midday today. So again, let's take a look at your Krueger's quick cast for your Friday, December 5th. Now out the door this morning, it's going to be still on the chilly side. There's the fog that we're going to see in the valley, by the way. And there's going to be some fog for some of those mountain valleys as well. And eventually, even some showers are in the forecast. Now, you look at the satellite image, you're like, well, we got high pressure in place. What are you talking about, rain? Well, the flow around that area of high pressure, we're seeing that cold front. You see that storm system? That's got rain associated with it. And the flow is making its way down into parts of Northern California. And as a result, some of us will see some of that rain. Let's take you into midday today. Look where it is. It's mainly in Modoc County. And then that pushes down to the south. Northern Lassen County may see some. And then behind that, there may be enough instability for a few stray sprinkles and light showers for parts of the north coast. Siskiyou County as well. That will push to the south and east later on this evening and tonight. And there may be some showers there as well. But I don't think we're going to see that for the valley. Now, the valley will see some drizzle, depending on how dense the fog gets. But there you can see these temperatures, by the way, that you see in the valley in particular, are really going to depend on how much clearing and how quickly it decides to clear out. Because if it takes longer than normal, hold on one second, I'm just kind of checking something here. Making sure everything's good. I'm just checking your comments. Yeah, looks like audio is good and everything. Sometimes I always just worry about that. We've got Robin Epperson Lee, we've got Lisa Stevens, we've got Calvin Corey, and Tanya Willis. So yeah, thank you all for joining us this morning. But again, as I was mentioning with our forecast highs for today, this will all really depend on how much clearing we see and how quickly it clears out. If it doesn't clear out at all, we're only going to get in the upper 40s, low 50s. So it's going to be a little chilly out there, especially this morning in the valley. All right, so for tonight, we may see that fog redevelop again. Temperatures in the low 40s, though, for the valley. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for the higher elevations, and somewhere in the upper 40s out along the coast. All right, we take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley, and there you can see just basically partly to mostly cloudy skies. I don't see any rain in the valley. Now, this looks a little ominous for especially the coast and inland, but I want you to take note that those mostly cloudy skies that you see, it's mainly just mostly cloudy and drizzle at times. We're not going to be looking at a lot of rainfall even for the coast as we go really for the next 7 days. And for Siskiyou County, you'll see some showers later this afternoon, but not necessarily this morning. And for El Turris, Modoc County, yeah, this morning, late this morning and midday, and a chance it could come as far south as Susanville today. But otherwise, not much rain coming in after that. Again, we take a look at some of the cameras out there this morning. Of course, that's the latest look at your Krueger's Quick Cast. We're going to be going to the deep dive here in just a bit. But there you can see Lake Oroville, North Forebay. No lights to really show just how dense that fog is because you can't really see through the fog. There's Main Street Chico. We saw that earlier. You can see just how dense that fog is out at Highway 99 at Neal Road. We need to take it slow. Of course, you know the drill, right? Don't put on the high beams, the works, because it scatters the light more and it makes it even more difficult to see. But just take it slow. Give yourself plenty of space between you and the car in front of you. Watch behind you to make sure they're paying attention as well. There you can see out in Crescent City, though, on the coast, no fog there, just a couple of passing clouds out there this morning. Let's go and take a look now at Bald Hill West. This is typically looking down at Hoopa Valley. We've got the fog in those mountain valleys as well this morning. But take a look at Soda Ridge. What a gorgeous shot out there this morning. We've got the clear skies. I'm not sure if that's a star or the moon. It's probably a star. Look at some of the fog that we do have out in Scott Valley this morning in the Fort Jones area. We're still seeing some of that fog there, and looks like the moonlit sky behind all of that. All right, here's what we got here. Taking a look at Lassen Park. Still a little dark out there this morning as well, but that's kind of look at that. Now, we have our Pet of the Week, Haven Humane Society, sponsored by Grange Co-op, and this week, who are we going to meet this week? I can't exactly remember who, but let's go ahead and see who it is this week.
Hi, this is Maisie with Haven Humane Society in Anderson, and this is our Pet of the Week, Sal. Sal's a very special Pet of the Week because he is my foster dog. Sal is a 1.5-year-old pit bull mix, and he weighs about 55 pounds. He is a Velcro dog at heart. He spends so much of his time right by my side. He loves nothing more than getting hugs, getting pets, getting his hand held, and giving boops. He gets along great with my two dogs. I have a dog similar in size to him and a small one, and he also gets along really well with our cats. He likes to play with toys. He loves his treats, but his favorite thing to do is cuddle up next to me on the couch or in my bed. We watch a lot of Kitchen Nightmares together, and he is just a couch potato. He does really well on the leash. He does seem to be potty trained. He does well home alone. He really is the sweetest dog. He was rescued from a cruelty case, so he is shy and does get scared by things sometimes we might not think about, so you will just have to keep that in mind. I think he would do best in a home with another playful dog and probably older children because he is really scared of loud noises. His adoption fee is fully sponsored, so if you're interested in meeting Sal, give us a call at 530-241-1653.
All right, once again, I want to thank Grange Co-op for sponsoring Pet of the Week. Of course, they're the sponsors of the Animal Family segment as well. Now, we also have another segment called NorCal Ag, which we weren't able to air yesterday, but I wanted to do due diligence because it is sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. And actually, Jerry O'Lennon went out to a really cool event in Butte County called, I think it's called the Agri-Bee. So let's check this out. Kind of interesting what they're doing over there.
I'm Jerry O'Lennon for Weather NorCal, and this is the Ag Report sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. Today I am at the Butte County Farm Bureau for quite a competition called the Agri-Bee. I am with Colleen Cecil of the Butte County Farm Bureau, the Executive Director. What is an Agri-Bee for those who don't know what this is?
So an Agri-Bee here for us is an agricultural spelling bee. So just like a traditional spelling bee in schools that all of our kids have all participated in over the years, this one is unique and different in that all of the words are agriculturally related. And to make it just one step more complicated, I guess, is that you have to spell and define all of the words to be successful in this contest. So this is our 21st annual Agri-Bee here at the Butte County Farm Bureau. We've got 10 schools participating today, representing 4 or 5 different counties from all over the area. And they've already won their school competition, so that's how they're here today.
How many kids are going to be competing?
There'll be 19 kids competing today from 10 different schools.
And what are the age groups?
They are 4th and 5th grade students.
Farming and ranching is a big deal in Butte County. Are these young people who see themselves as having a career in farming or ranching?
Well, I can only hope and wish that that would be the case. But the reality is that they potentially will be voters here someday. Their families are already voters here someday. Agriculture is the foundation of most all of the economies in the North State counties. So this is our opportunity to educate the students at the school level. But at the same time, they're taking these word lists home and they're practicing with their family. So we hope that their family members are also getting a little bit of agricultural knowledge that maybe they didn't have before while practicing the spelling of these words and definitions with their students.
The pressure is intense. Right now, I feel the pressure hasn't even started yet. I can't imagine what these young people are going through.
Yeah, it is very much an emotionally driven activity. These kids have been practicing for weeks now. They've had the spelling words since this September. They've already won their school contest, so they've earned the ability to be here and compete today. And so they've been practicing words and definitions, and yeah, it's a very stressful competition, but competition's good, and so we're excited.
Colleen Cecil of the Butte County Farm Bureau, the Executive Director. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
And there's your Ag Report. I'm Jerry O'Lennon for Weather NorCal.
All right, I want to thank Jerry O'Lennon for that report. I want to thank Lassen County Nursery for their support of Weather NorCal, and of course, the Ag Report as well. All right, so we are getting ourselves ready to get into the deeper dive forecast. We need to mention, of course, our sponsor of Coffee with Krueger, which is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Thanks to Wind River for your support. So here's a look at the weather headlines. That dense valley fog, it has returned to the valley. Honestly, I was hoping with that north wind that we saw a couple of days ago that it was going to dry things out a bit, but that didn't happen. So now we got that fog back. Now that high pressure is back in place, and it's really holding on strong with that Thule fog. Showers to the north and east of the valley today and tonight, mainly dry this weekend. Next week's chances for rain, though, not looking all that promising. We're going to get into all of that in our deeper dive forecast, but first, a word from our sponsor of the deep dive forecast, Shasta Hearing Aids.
Frank, come help with the dishes.
What?
The dishes!
I heard it the first time. I just got back from Shasta Hearing Aids, but she doesn't know it yet. What?
Forget it.
All right, well, it's back to me, and I think I want to take you back to not me, but the weather computers. There it is. And this is, of course, the deeper dive forecast. We're going to get you into it here for your Friday, December 5th. So we start off with looking at the visibility, and you can see just how low that visibility is. This is reminiscent of what we saw last week, right? And we are back to it, and it's going to be very persistent, especially through the morning hours. The dense fog advisory is until 11 a.m. That could be extended. We'll see how long it takes for this fog to stick around. If it sticks around all day long, our forecast highs are going to be a bit of a bust. But looking at the forecast here, yeah, by around midday, the models are showing that that will most likely occur, although there will probably still be some patchy fog, especially to the south this afternoon. And then there you can see tomorrow morning, yet another shot at some very low visibility once again, but most likely clearing out by Saturday afternoon. Now, we still remember one of the reasons why we saw the fog last week, and we're seeing it again, is we've got that blocking ridge of high pressure off to our west that is sinking air, that helps to really sink down that colder air into the valley. With the calm winds, we see the dew point temperatures reach the temperature, and we start to get the airs get saturated, and we then have fog and clouds at the lower levels begin to develop. Now, the flow around that area of high pressure, we have a few disturbances coming around it, and that could potentially bring some rain for some of us, believe it or not. Later on midday this afternoon, we are seeing it in Modoc County and northern Lassen County. Then later this afternoon and evening is to the north in Siskiyou, Trinity, northern Shasta, Del Norte, and Humboldt counties. And then by tomorrow, not much going on, is there? You may see a sprinkle or a light shower Saturday morning for parts of the coast, but overall, not much in the way of rain. There you can see on Sunday, probably more in the way of drizzle for the North Coast, maybe some light showers at times on Sunday. But you can see just how insignificant any of that rain will be should it be strong enough to really to develop. And again, keep in mind, we may even see some of that morning fog for many parts of the valley as well. Going into Monday afternoon, dry, but there you can see some rain up to our north on Tuesday. It's pretty typical, folks, this type of pattern we're seeing. Most of the rain moves through the Pacific Northwest, and it just clips Northern California. And taking a look at just some estimates that might be overdoing it, but you get the idea where most of the rain will be north and west of the valley, again, as a typical pattern that we see with these types of weather patterns. Again, we have that blocking ridge of high pressure in place, and it's basically going to stay in place today through the weekend. You see it breaks down a little bit, flattens out a little bit, and then it kind of amplifies again going into next week, keeping all of the energy up to our north, and we, as a result, remain dry, keep our temperatures above normal. And there you can see mainly normal to drier than normal conditions for Northern California, with above normal temperatures in the long range. And you can see the normal high is 57 for Redding. We'll be about 5 to 10 degrees above that for the next 10 days. All right, here's a look at your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. Let's take a look at your forecast for today. There you can see temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s for the Highway 299 corridor. There, about 54 degrees in Peanut, 58 degrees in Forest Glen, and Mad River, about 56. I don't have any rain for you in Trinity County. Now, if you see any showers in, say, places like southern Humboldt or Humboldt County in general. Now, look at the 7-day forecast in Fortuna and even some of the inland areas to the north. Don't look at that and go look at the washout. It's not the case. What you're seeing there for especially Saturday, Sunday is drizzle. It'll be mostly cloudy. And during those mostly cloudy days, I do expect to see some drizzle and light showers, but that's it. Nothing significant, not much in the way of accumulating rain. But there you can see for Siskiyou County, there's that chance for showers later this afternoon. Some of it may clip eastern Siskiyou County this morning, but most of any light showers we see for Siskiyou County will be later this afternoon and evening and going into tonight. Central eastern Siskiyou County temperatures in the low to mid 50s. Modoc County, you've got the showers, especially for the first half of the day. By the second half of the day, things will start to dry out a bit. A slight chance for showers for places like Bernie later this morning and early this afternoon. Otherwise, dry through the weekend, dry through next week. I do have a chance for you in Lassen Park, maybe as far south as Chester as well. That will also be the case out in Susanville. But Paradise, I think you'll be dry throughout the day today. In Susanville, you'll probably be dry today as well. But don't be surprised if a stray shower moves through you. There you can see for the Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. Temperatures will be in the mid 50s, again, depending on how quickly that fog decides to burn off. Otherwise, we're looking at temperatures on average in the low 60s. A bit of a spike in our temperatures by the end of next week. 66 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake and 62 degrees in Cottonwood. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Again, your temperature today and really even tomorrow and over the next several days will depend on how quickly the fog decides to burn off. Otherwise, temperatures on average will be in the mid 60s. So yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunately, we're not really seeing much change going on here. We don't have much in the way of rain heading our way, and that is not a happy sight. This is the wet time of the year, and we want to start seeing that rain. The good news is, and I didn't get a chance to show you this and update those, but we're above normal for rain for pretty much everybody. So with the rain that we saw in November, we're doing great because we saw above normal rain for the month of December, and that was great. Excuse me, for the month of November. We're just starting off December fairly dry. Keep in mind, the wet season's kicked in. We still have December, January, February, March, and even into April. So we still got plenty of time to make up what we're missing out here in December. And we are seeing signs of change in the long-range forecast models, but it's going to be probably closer to the second half of this month. But that's not guaranteed because the forecast models, heck, it was yesterday morning I noticed, it bumped up that chance for rain coming in as early as the 12th of December. Now it's bumping it back to like 16th, 17th, 18th. So it just depends on which forecast model run you look at. That's why you got to pay close attention to the forecast as we kind of break it down for you. But that's going to do it for me here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, the National Digital Meteorology Conference put on by the National Weather Network that I'm proudly a member of, and we are seeing things grow. This is a big year for the conference. It's the second year of it, and we got a lot of people. I've already been talking to a lot of people, and the conference hasn't technically started. It starts this morning, and I am excited to meet and shake hands with some people who are watching Weather NorCal, along with some of my other colleagues closely, seeing what we're doing and seeing what we can do to help them launch their channels just like this of Weather NorCal. What I'm doing here is the future. People may try to tell you otherwise. I don't believe it. And it's what's happening. And I am seeing and feeling the growth of Weather NorCal. And I'm sure you are seeing that as well. So I'm very happy about this. So there you go. I've got to take off, but Chase Wilson will be filling in for me for the rest of the day. Of course, he did the 6 a.m. update. He'll be doing the noon and 6 p.m. And of course, he'll be doing the weather for you throughout the weekend. This will be the last you'll see of me today and through the weekend. We will also have now on regular schedule, meteorologist Aurora Murray will be on Monday to give you your forecast, and I'll be back on Tuesday. Until then, live from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger signing off. I hope you all have yourselves a great day, and we will see you on the flip side, my friends. We're going to leave you with a couple of cameras, and that's going to do it for us today. Have yourselves a great day, everybody.